Hello and welcome to the Preacher Plays. Today the Preacher, that is me, is playing Doom VFR. This review's been a little bit in the making, long time coming. I know the game came out a while ago, but my missus got it for me for Christmas, so I couldn't play it then. And then I was sick over Christmas, so I couldn't play it then either. Or I played very little of it. So I'm going to jump into some action right now and hopefully not die too often. And I'll talk about the game. So let's go. Oh yeah.
All personnel, please proceed to the Lazarus elevator. Do not fail.
I'm using the aim controller right now. I'll talk about the controllers in a moment. But the aim controller is probably the best of all worlds. You basically you've got the trigger to shoot. You've got your L2 trigger to teleport, which you still need to do, even though you've got full locomotion. I've got all comfort settings turned off right now, because that's how I like to play my games. But L2 is basically teleport, which what I'm doing here is telefragging into enemies. Oh, shit. And when you telefrag into enemies, it's like an important tactic. Woo! It's an important tactic because when you telefrag into enemies, you get health and ammo. You can also use it just to whoa, I'm getting hurt there. You can also use it just to slow down time, so if things are getting a little bit hectic, you can just hold the button down and then start shooting away. Oh yeah, slow motion. Better get out of the way. Circle on the aim controller pushes your enemies away like this, so it buys you that split-second bit of time. If you get weapon mods in the game, so if you hold the square button, you can. Oh shit! Hang on. Let me get out of the way. If you hold the square button, it'll allow you to do weapon mod. I'm gonna have to change guns. It'll allow you to do weapon mod, which is fire a secondary function of your weapon if you've upgraded it. So if I fire my normal gun, it's like this. If I fire the weapon mod, it fires one of those off, which is like a stun. It stuns the enemies and gives you a chance to blast them. This thing that you can see stuck to the left side of my face, which is one of the more annoying parts. Again, I'll get to that later. That is your grenade launcher, which upgrades throughout the game as you play. In this case, because I've completed the game, I have the BFG version of the gun, which I'll fire off here just so you can see against this Revenant. So here we go, here's the BFG. And it basically just turns everything to mush. I'll do that again because it looks cool. Oh yes, Kasplatio.
All personnel, please proceed to the Lazarus elevator.
It makes things a little bit easy, but you can see here on the right hand side of my screen, I've got one shot of that left. You do find ammo for that later on. There's a few of these little sequences throughout the game, just to give you an idea of what the story is. So it's like little echoes of things that happened. Okay, so whilst I've got a little bit of downtime, thoughts on the game so far. It's not too long. It'll take you a few hours, maybe like 4 hours or something like that. Maybe 4 to 6 hours, depending on how quickly you get through it. There are also secrets to find, which I'm definitely going to show you later because there's some classic maps. Spoiler alert. Graphically, I actually quite like the graphics on this game. It's got some really nice lighting effects. It's got some nice detail. Oh, my gun's disappeared. If you look at the gun, there's a lot of nice detail. There's a lot of nice lighting and reflections, etc. on the gun. So you look at the scratch marks. There's some very nice detail on the weapons. I've currently got all of the weapons here. So, chain gun, big ass chain gun with 3 barrels. You can fire that normally, or you can. If you've got a modified version and you press the square button, it opens out into a tri-gun. You've got your pistol, shotgun, which is just your regular shotgun. That has a 3-shot mode. You've got your super shotgun, which is everybody's favorite double-barrel shotgun. Oh yeah. The heavy assault rifle, which is the gun you saw me using at the beginning, which has a rocket mode, so you can fire little rockets off. You have the plasma rifle, which you saw me use. You have a Gauss cannon, which is this big beast of a cannon. which has a rail mode. That's the rail mode, which you can blast through multiple enemies with one shot. But it uses the same ammo as the plasma cannon. You have your classic rocket launcher, which has a lock-on mode. It looks a bit wimpy, actually. And that's it. And you can upgrade once each weapon. Let's just go through the game. Got to press R3 to click screens. So let's use the super shotgun for a bit. You got your classic pickups. The sense of 3D presence is really good. The depth is excellent. The sound's good as well. The music's quite cool. It's got some rockin' tunes when you start getting into some heavy action. Overall, I quite enjoyed this game. Now, my issues with it. This is one of the later levels, so I do apologize. Spoiler alert, this is one of the later levels. The reason why I started on this level is because once I go in here, you'll see in a second, there's a lot of action kicks off. Now, this is one of my complaints to the game. Because it's so short, you only really feel like you get into that sort of kick-ass, Doom, crazy action mode sort of towards the end of the game, and it really kicks off in the last couple of levels. There's enemies everywhere. Whoa! Take you out. Whoa! Shit! Hang on, let's go over there. The action like this only kicks off in the later levels. So you feel like you're only just getting started in the whole Doom experience, and then before you know it, it's over, and you're done. So that's my only. Whoa! He just smacked me in the air. Oh well, that was hilariously embarrassing. Let's just shouts the heroic "come on" and then gets killed. Yeah, so you only feel like the game really sort of heats up in the last couple of levels. You feel like you're playing like the beginning of the game, like you know, like the tutorial and the sort of early steps of the game. The first half, not just couple of levels, the first half of the game feels like that. Let's get a BFG sent off once these enemies come in, once the bigger enemies come in. Slow down time, blast it with a shotgun. That did hardly anything. That didn't though. So that was the only thing that disappointed me a bit, because I felt like, oh yes, now here we go. Oh, that's so cheap, the BFG. Once you get the BFG, it's really cheap, because you can just clear out rooms with it. Let's go to that ghost cannon. Jesus, I'm getting destroyed here. You may notice, I'll start to talk about controls now. You may notice that as I'm moving, if you concentrate on my gun, oh shit. My gun lags behind where I'm moving, so as I'm strafing like this, it lags behind, and then as soon as I move it, that's one-to-one control. But it lags behind, and that's quite off-putting when you try to aim, because it's like, look at that, it's like wiggling around. Have a BFG. So it's quite off-putting. Your other control options for this game are... What the hell happened to him? I didn't even touch him. These are your BFG rounds. Yeah, so it can be quite off-putting when you're aiming. The other control options that you've got is you can play this game with the moves, or you can play it with the DualShock 4 controller. Now, I've tried all methods, and the DualShock 4 is, if you imagine this gun on your left side here, you see how it's stuck to my head and I can't independently control it. That's how the DualShock 4 controls. So, even though it has one of the best controls in terms of, you know, it plays like any Doom game. You know, it plays like any first-person shooter game. You have to control it with your face, and I don't really like looking where I'm shooting. You know, I don't mind it so much in Resident Evil because, you know, the VR was a bit of an afterthought in that game. But from a game built for VR, to aim by going bang, 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 it just does my neck in after a while. So you think the most natural fit for this game would be the move controllers. Now, playing with the move controllers is the most immersive way to play this game, because you actually have control of this hand with your left hand. So both of these guns, you have full control with both hands. So it's the most immersive. So when you're throwing grenades, you actually have to, you know, do a grenade throwing motion. However, the problem with that is there's no smooth locomotion. So what I'm doing right now, by moving, turning, etc., you can't do that with the moves. All you have is the ability to teleport. So everywhere you go, you have to teleport. You can dash, which you can also do in this, which does this. So you can do this as well. But the biggest issue, I'd be able to forgive all of that, but the biggest issue is you can only 180-degree turn. There's no like incremental snap turning, there's no smooth turning like in Skyrim or Rotator. You can only 180 turns. So if you imagine, you know, you're fighting an enemy here, if you want to fight one behind you, you press a button and you instantly turn in that direction. However, if you are fighting and you need to turn to your right, you kind of have to use the dash buttons and tilt your head to try and, like if you imagine like a car like doing a 3-point turn in the street, to try and face the right direction. Because with PlayStation, if you notice the camera at the top, which is actually a really cool feature, that camera, it lets you know where your PlayStation camera is. But with PlayStation, once you start turning to a certain angle, that's about as far as you can go before you start losing tracking. So if you're physically turned here, and you need to then fight something that's over there, see, I've lost my track, fight something to my right, I would have to turn myself back this direction, then 180 turn the button to fight that enemy. So it basically becomes like a large puzzle, you know, like a big puzzle. Is like, hang on, so if I go that way, turn left, turn 90 degrees, then turn 180, I'm facing the right direction. That makes just navigating the world really, really difficult. Never mind, as you just saw, all those enemies. Try fighting all of those enemies whilst trying to work out the puzzle as to how to actually face the enemy as it's trying to kill you. So that basically makes the moves like totally impossible to play this game, or extremely difficult to play this game. So the best of both worlds is what I'm using right now, which is the aim controller. However, the downside of that is you get this gun stuck to your face, so you cannot do anything with that gun, and you get lag on the gun as you move around, which, as you can imagine, I'm holding my gun in real life, I'm holding it like this, I'm holding it still, and you get this level of movement as you're strafing and sprinting, etc. So it becomes really difficult to aim. So like if I was trying to aim for that there, if I aim down the sights and then I start moving around, it's so weird. And that's basically your options for movement, but this is the best option that we've got, so this is what I'm using. Let's get in the lift here. Let's move on a little bit. So yeah, the controls are a bit strange. I don't think it's not fixable. You know, they could come out with a patch which pretty much fixed the majority of my concerns, and then this game would take on a whole new level of awesome.
Output is locked at 25%.
Because it is a good game. I have really enjoyed my time with the game. Let's give you some health.
Control center.
So these are little health stations which you can find around, which give you health. Surprise, surprise. Use the teleporter to get across. Use the teleporter over there. It's the quickest way to get around. Things that you could do to upgrade your gun, you'll find stations. I don't think there's one nearby. Hang on, did I just come from here? I did, didn't I? Idiot. Let's go there. Wait a minute, I'm confused now. I have actually completed this game, despite the fact that I looked totally bewildered right now. Just forgotten what to do. Ah, yes. The good old teleporter. That's a chain gun.
Security overrides are only accessible from the mainframe control.
Let's use this. Oh, hang on. Gotta use this control thing. System override. Ah, here's a little mini game. In order to hack, you have to press the trigger on these little triangles, and then that allows you to hack. It's simple, and you gotta do it within the time. Just a simple little game just to keep you occupied to make you feel like you're doing something.
Main power online.
Okay, main power's online. Where do we go now? We're in that direction. This is your, this here, I don't know if you can see it on top of the screen, there's a little diamond. That's where you have to head to. Gonna teleport myself down there. Yes, I can. Whoa! He's a big guy. Whoa! This gun just chews them up and spits them out for dinner. That didn't make any sense. Never mind. Yeah, I'm not Arnold Schwarzenegger. I can't do one-liners very well. Unless you spit for dinner, of course. Yeah, might be a thing. Yeah, so you get to do various locations, like this one, in the game. You get to go to hell. You get to do lots of little sort of side missions. There are a whole bunch of secrets to collect, which I'll get back to that again in a moment. There's some action. Oh, I took his leg off! I took his leg off! Boom, 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 boom! It's a very gory game, which is exactly what you want Doom to be. There's nice locational damage on the enemies as well, so where you hit them, you'll get proper blood splats, and it'll take chunks out of the flesh, which is, of course, awesome. Give me some more ammo. Boom! Oh yeah! Telefrag. I would have preferred like Doom 2016. They had like what do you call them? Like brutal kills, brutal takedowns. I'd have preferred that over the telefragging. BFG your ass. I think the reason behind it was in order to stop taking control away from the player. I'm gonna be so cheap here and just kill these guys. God, he's like 8 foot tall. Oh! Yeah, I think it was to stop taking control away from the player. However, it would look cooler just seeing you know, like ripping the eyeball out of a cacodemon, or you know, tearing a imp in half. Oh my god, I need some better weapons. I need some better weapons. Plasma rifle. Get down. Oh my god, hang on, I've got 47 health here. It's so good. This is when it gets fun. This is so cool. I mean, the shooting is good, like. Well, like I said, oh, rocket launcher. The problem is that this comes too late in the game. Definitely comes too late in the game. It needs to happen earlier. For me, Doom's all about like tons. Oh shit! I nearly blew myself up. It's about tons of enemies and having to like figure out how to beat them all. You know? Oh, get down, Revenant man. What have I got? What have I got? What have I got? I've got hardly any ammo for anything. Try firing some rockets off. See, the lighting effects are lush. Oops. Come on. Die, you son of a bitch!
The chamber
Finally.
is clear. Please proceed to the nearest exit.
I've got no ammo.
Is ready.
I'm trying not to use the BFG all the time, but it's hard to concentrate properly and talk. Concentrate on playing, that is. Let's get back to the lift. So yeah, the way that the game is structured is you've got all these levels, like I was saying before, but you have like a central hub. So you always go back to this central hub at the end of every mission, and then you get a little bit of dialogue or something like that. And hang on, where am I going? I'm going this way. You get a little bit of dialogue, and then you go to a teleporter, and the teleporter teleports you to a new place like this, or hell, or Mars, or whatever. Oh crap. See if this takes out fueling. That kind of worked. And you can have a BFG. That is such a cheap weapon. I've got no weapons. I've got nothing. Nothing good. Ah! Okay, I tell you what, I've talked enough about the main game, so let's quit out, and I'll show you the classic maps. Quit out. So yeah, it is a cool game, but it is short, and it does feel like it was just getting started as it finished, if that makes sense. So I wish it kind of, you know, I wish there was about, what, 8 missions? I wish it kind of went to about 15 or something like that. But the cool thing is you do get these, so this is the classic maps that I've unlocked so far. So if we jump to the classic E1M1 musical Doom hangar level, this is awesome. I love this. It's worth playing through the game and getting the secrets just for this. Listen to the music. Oh yeah, I am in Doom. I played this game on my cousin's PC probably 20 years ago or more now. That's showing my age. And to come back and see it almost as is. I mean, I've still got the new weapons and it uses the new enemies. But you know, the armor icons are the same. They're all sprites. The enemies are new, but the levels are all the same. So you've still got the same backdrops. This is just so nostalgia amazing. The fact that I'm actually in a game and I'm in Doom that I played like 20 odd years ago. It's just awesome. There's nothing else you could say. It's pure awesome. Ah, I didn't get there. Never mind. You can still teleport. All the secrets are there. All of the guns are there. See there, we can see some locational damage. Just took a chunk out of his stomach. This is just the best thing ever. This is so amazing. I would actually, I'm telling you right now, if they decided to give me the original guns in 3D and give me the original sprite enemies, you know, never mind, not these new guys, if they give me the original sprite enemies and then gave me the entirety of Doom 1 and Doom 2 and Final Doom like this, I would quite happily buy it and play it. In fact, if they could team up with the guys that made Project Brutality or Brutal Doom, if you've seen that on the PC, where it's just gore galore, that would be absolutely epic. That would be like the greatest game ever. I would love that, and I would buy it in a heartbeat because this is just awesome on every level. So the secrets are still there, so I should press on this door. Woohoo! I'm sure there's another secret somewhere as well. I thought there was another one down here. Oh, never mind. Get the blue armor. Feels odd to be teleporting in the original Doom, but oh yeah. See, these are actually 3D. These used to be just sprites on the original game. Oh, that's so cool. The original barrels, the candles that look like they're about 7 foot tall. Well, that was quick. That was everybody knows the first Doom level's not very long, but that was so awesome. And I think there's about 12 to collect, something like that. If you look at AWOL's channel, AWOL's got an entire series on finding each and every one of the collectibles in order to unlock these maps. So if you watch his stuff, you can find out how to do it, how to get these maps. But this is just awesome. I love it. Oh yeah, shotgun time. How can you not love this? Oh, get dead. Oh yeah. Whoa, I got shot back. The fast-paced Doom still. The enemies are even in the same positions that they were. Oh, in the original. You don't have your upgrades from the main game, they don't carry over. There's a bag. Oh, I thought there was one guy left. Shoot you a couple more times. There we go. Look at that blood. Oh, sick, man. Can you blast him again? Oh, he's gone. Did I go up here? No, I haven't gone up here yet. Boom, 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 boom. boom, 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 boom. It's awesome. It brings back so many memories. Although, admittedly, I do prefer the PS1 version. If you can get your hands on the PS1 version of Doom, that had some really atmospheric and awesome music. Because it was remastered when it came to PlayStation 1. I think I've still got that in the attic somewhere, the original copy. But you've got to experience this in VR. Look at the keys and everything, it's so great. The dead guy. The awesome sprites that follow you no matter which direction you're looking. I would quite happily play this game again, the original, all the way through, with a big grin on my face from start to finish. Hang on, there's a red door. Oh yeah. I want a chainsaw though. I have not found a chainsaw. I don't know if there's a secret that you can get with the chainsaw. You can view it. In fact, I'll tell you what. I'll show you the main hub that I was talking about before. I didn't open anything up here. I opened this secret door. All the old secrets coming back to me. Oh yes, cause Black Joe. Ooh, lots of bad enemies. This is so awesome. This is just like giddy as a child here. Come on, blow them up. Thank you. I'm sure there used to be a secret that you could get the chainsaw. I wonder if that's in here somewhere. There used to be a wall that you pressed. Look, you check your back. Or was it through here? What's that give you? Just lots of stuff. Oh man, I was hoping I'd get the chainsaw. I was sure you got the chainsaw somewhere around here. Obviously my memory's a bit flaky. Right, okay, you've had enough of that. I'll show you the main hub. So if we go back, exit the classic map, accept, yes. Accept. Okay, mission select. Alright, so there's all your missions. So that's how many missions you've got. But this is the Advanced Research Complex. So this is where you start your game. There's a bare bones story that takes you through. But who cares about story in Doom? You just here to blow demons from hell, send them back to hell. There's a cyber demon that you get to fight, which is probably about 20-30 foot tall, which is just absolutely epic. You'll love that. The levels are pretty good actually. They're quite simple. So this is your main hub. This is where your teleporter is. So nearly after every single mission, you get to come in here, and it's essentially just like a donut shape. So hang on, if I press the map. Yeah. So you've basically got this big donut with a few offshoot rooms. And when you do the thing that you have to do here, which is usually like, well, not that room, but you often get told like, oh, come in here, and you have to click a couple of buttons, and then it'll send you back to the room, and then you've got to come out and you've got to click some other buttons and set something off in here, or you need to find a part for machinery or whatever, and then you come back to that first room that I was in. That's another room, BFG room. You come back to this room, and then you have a teleporter. You get on the teleporter, and that takes you to the levels like you saw me playing at the beginning of this video. One of the cool things that you can do in here is it allows you to view different like items, so you can have a look at the stuff that you found throughout the game. So we can show the different artifacts that were found. I think that's the BFG. So you can view the model, which is pretty cool. But what's even more cool is this bit over here. There's Mr. Cyber Demon. If you click on something like him, you know, you can view the model like you could before. But what you can also do is you can select. I don't want you. Hang on. Yeah, you can select on this table things to view, and then you can go down and click View in Habitat. And when you click that, it spawns you, so you can view the creature. You know, so there's, I guess that's a Baron of Hell or a Knight of Hell. There's the Doom guy, so the Doom guy's clearly way taller than I am. He looks about bloody 6.5, 7 foot tall. The beef neck. And there's Mr. Cyber Demon that we were talking about before. He is massive. The detail on the models is actually really good. It's quite impressive. You know, some nice specular highlights going on there. You know, all in all, the art team's done a really good job on the game, and to get it all running on PSVR, it's really good. They've done a really good job, and some of the levels look really nice as well. Butt crack. So yeah, all in all, it's a really good game. It's just a bit shorter than I'd like, and it only really gets going about halfway through or more, or past halfway. Oh, there's a chainsaw, look. I've never found that in the game though. So yeah, I would actually recommend it. It's priced pretty decently for what it is, to be honest. It was what did I get it for? 14 quid? I think it was that I got it for, £14. Which, you know, for what you get, 4 to 6 hours of entertainment, you pay £14 to go to the cinema and watch a 2-hour movie, you know. So you do get your value for money for what it is. If it had been a £30 game or £25 game, I'd be a bit more cautious. And it's probably going to go on sale soonish, probably, because it's been out for a little while. But yeah, I recommend the game. It's good fun. It has its downsides, the biggest of which being the controls. Which I will also add to. I have had a bit of aim drift on this game. It was perfect in Farpoint. I've not had a problem with my aim when I was playing Farpoint or Arizona Sunshine. But in Doom, I have had my gun drifting off, like over here somewhere. Not sure why. It's been alright in this video, but every so often it just decides to drift off. No idea why. But yeah, if they could do a patch, get rid of this horrible lag on the aim controller, that would be awesome. If they could also do a patch that allowed me to use my moves and also walk around like in Skyrim or Rotator, that would be the most immersive version of this game. And the controller version, well, I can just stay as it is, because that's as good as it's going to get with a controller. So that's pretty much it. That's my review of Doom. Hopefully you got some information out of it, and you know exactly how it plays, exactly what kind of goes on and what the level's like. And I've been the Preacher. That was the Preacher Plays Doom VFR, and peace out. I'll catch you guys later. Thanks for tuning in.